Hi guys, I hope you're all doing okay. I apologize in advance for this video because I really don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm having a really bad day, and before I start this video I really want to just have a rant because people are really starting to irritate me, and it's not even the trolls. It's people on Twitter that think that they know me better than I know me, and that is not freaking true. So yesterday I had a guy tell me, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember actually, but anyway, I had a guy tell me that I looked too adjusted. This was from a picture that I put on my GoFund account. He told me that I looked too adjusted. Like, what? What are you talking about? I mean, do you want me to be crying all the time? Is that what you want? Do you want me to be crying all the time and to be cowering in a corner somewhere, or what? I look too freaking adjusted. Well, you should see me today. It took me a lot. It took a lot of strength to even get myself ready for this video. I didn't even know whether I was going to do it because it has been a really hard day, and that's, as soon as I woke up I knew. I started praying and stuff, and I knew that something was just not going my way. And then just before making this video I checked out Twitter to see what was going on, and a girl commented on one of my tweets that I tweeted about my video, and she asked me why I didn't fight back. I was 4 years old when this started. 4 years old. These were grown men. 9 years old when I was first trafficked, but 4 years old when Lee started sexually abusing me. What 4-year-old would be able to fight off a man probably 4 times me? I can't even tell you how many times people have asked me that. Oh, why didn't you fight them off? Of course I didn't just... When I was 4, when it first happened, I did try and fight him off. But can you really imagine a 4-year-old being able to succeed in a fight with a grown adult and a male in that? No. Even as I got older, I was still, I'm not fat. It's not as if I'm fat and I have a lot of strength behind me that would be able to push him off of me. And when you're scared, my limbs would go to nothing. So don't tell me and don't ask me why I didn't fight them off. It's a stupid question. There's not many stupid questions out there, but that's one of them. And as for the trolls that keep commenting on my videos, go right ahead. I do not care. I know that you trolls, I know that you hide behind screens. You wouldn't say the things that you're saying, that you're commenting on these videos. If I was right in front of you, you wouldn't say that. You cowards. You're just as cowardly as the people that abused me. So don't. Then I'm thankful for the people that are supporting me and want to defend me, but just don't don't give them the satisfaction, don't give them the attention that they're wanting, just move right along. I'm not even going to delete any of the comments anymore because they feed off of the attention. There's so many people that have just nothing better to do with their lives than to destroy other people's, or try to anyway. I just don't understand. But that is my rant. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna say any more on it. And I'm gonna get on with this video. So yesterday I was watching a video, an interview on YouTube of a very courageous woman named Vicky Ash. She is British and she's a survivor of satanic ritual abuse. I was thankful that I'll put the link below if any of you guys want to check it out, but I was thankful that I found another survivor that was willing to talk out and speak out and expose the people that had abused her. But on the other hand, I totally understand why people don't speak out. I totally get it. When I make these videos, it takes me a long time to actually sit down and make it. Even when I'm making it, I have anxiety. So I totally understand why people don't speak out. And for the most part, like, I'm safe now because I'm away from England. I'm in a different country, and Anne and Lee would have to go through a crazy amount of unnecessary stuff to get to me. So, you know, I just can't see it happening that they would come over here. But for most people that endure satanic ritual abuse, the survivors, they still live in the same proximity as their abusers, and that's unsafe for them to expose them. I know that Vicky Ash, she still lives in England, and it happened in England. I can't remember if she said that she relocated, but she did say that she was still living in England. I really find her story and her courage inspiring, and she was the push that I needed spiritually. She's a Christian, that I needed to continue doing these videos. I mean, I totally appreciate and I'm grateful for all of you guys that have encouraged me and supported me, but to hear from another survivor that has experienced similar things to myself speak about it with such, she was so graceful about it, and she was calm, like she looked like she was at peace. And I'm thanking God that she has found God and she is strong in her faith. And I know that God has already started healing her, which I'm thankful for also. But some of the things that she mentioned triggered some memories, and some of the feelings that I have and continue to have even after the abuse stopped confused me, and I've never really talked about it with other people because I thought that they'd think that I was strange. So I just didn't bother, I just kept it to myself. But I should have learned by now that anything that I'm feeling, someone else is feeling it also. I'm not the only person on earth that feels this way. So I know that it's not strange. But to me it felt strange, and it felt like I was going to be judged if I talked about it. And I haven't really even talked to Catherine about it, and she's the main person that I turn to, other than God, for support, which I'm thankful for her for. She, I don't know how she puts up with me, but she does. I can be a handful. But one of the things that she mentioned was dissociation and multiple personality disorder. Now, this is something that can be caused by abuse, obviously, not just satanic ritual abuse, but just abuse in general. But me personally, I never wanted to believe, for some reason, I never wanted to believe that I dissociated or I had multiple personality disorder. I don't think I have multiple personality disorder. I don't. But I know that when I was being abused, I used to split, like my mind would split, and I think I've described this in one of my other videos, that I would imagine myself in a loving family that loved me, that cared for me, and we would go out places. It would be like living in that family in the time that I was being abused. It just took my mind away from it, and it stopped it from hurting so much. And I have heard of other people that have the same that experience the same thing as me. So I know, obviously, I'm not the only person that's dealt with that. But from that, obviously, I was always looking for that family. But not only that, I had my childhood ripped from me, and that hurts. Like, it hurts to know that I will never know what it feels like to be loved, be cared for as a child. I know now what it feels like to be loved and to be cared for because of this family, and because of Catherine, but it's not the same. I still have that void in me. I still have that hole in me. And I know that it'll be God that takes that away from me. It'll be God that heals that part of me. But until then, and I am praying for that healing. Sorry. I am praying for that healing. But until that heals, it hurts. It's painful. Because honestly, I want to be a child again, and I'm not. I know that I'm not. I'm not confused about that. I'm almost 21. I know that I'm not a child, but I want to be. I want to go back to when I was 4 years old, and I want to be loved. I often say this to people, and people take it as a joke, only because for the most part the people I tell, they don't know my history. But I want to go back to being age 4, before all of this happened, but in different circumstances. Like, especially now that I've been in this family and I've seen the love that a family can give. And I want that. I want that as a child. I don't want it as a 21-year-old. I want it, well, almost 21. I want it as a child. But I'll never get it, and that hurts. But that's one thing that she was talking about in her video, that people have different levels of, especially people with multiple personality disorder, and I've seen this myself. I've seen people, I lived with someone in the emergency residential placement that I was in for 4 weeks. There was a little boy that I lived with. He was just a bit younger than me. He had multiple personality disorder, and he could click like this, and his eyes changed, even his facial structure changed, and you could tell that he'd been severely abused. And he'd click to a younger child. Like, one minute he'd be his age, and then he'd be back to being 4 or 5 years old. I'm thankful that I'm not like that. I'm thankful that, you know, I know my age, I know who I am, what I am. I'm thankful for that. But I don't know, I just wish that I'll be praying that the hole is healed. God can heal it. I know he can. But moving on from that, before I start to ramble, she also talked about Vicky Ash in the video. She also talked about fear of punishment, and not just punishment in general, but punishment from God. You guys know that I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I have faith in God. I trust God. But I have this fear, and I've told Catherine about this, but I couldn't fully describe it to anyone because I didn't get it myself. I didn't understand it myself until I watched the video yesterday. I fear sin. I fear being sinful, and we are all sinful. She said actually that sin, the word sin, was a trigger word for her, and I don't think it's a trigger word for me. Vicky said that she used it, not she used it, but her abusers used it as a trigger word for her. So every time sin was said, she would get distressed, you know, and she feared for a long time. She feared punishment of God, and I do. I fear going to hell. I know God. I have accepted Jesus as my savior, but I fear going to hell. It's a real fear. I mean, before I go to bed, I'm talking to God because I just think that's the best way to go to sleep. I have night terrors, I have nightmares, I really do struggle with sleep, and I just think that talking to God, instead of being on social media, I mean, I go on social media for a while before I finally decide to go to sleep, because I have to literally force myself to go to sleep. But I talk to God, and I am fearful that while I'm sleeping, I will die and I'll go to hell. I don't know why I have this fear. I didn't know why I had this fear until I watched the video yesterday. But it was like a real fear, like the same intensity that I felt when I was being abused. It was that fear inside of me, and I couldn't explain it. I didn't understand it until I watched the video yesterday, and she said it was because she experienced that same thing, and it was because her abusers was always telling her that God would punish her. I don't know whether Ann and Lee did that with me, I don't know, but it's a possibility. There's still a lot of memories and stuff that are deep within me and that I've repressed, and they're starting to come out. The last 6 months has been difficult in terms of memories because I'm remembering things that I've pushed down so deep that I didn't really want to remember, but I'm starting to. So I know that there'll be more things that are coming out. So I don't know if Ann and Lee did that, but it would make sense. Because I have this fear of God, and it's not the healthy fear that you have. You know, the fear that the Bible teaches us to have. It's not that same fear. It's like I'm scared of God. Like, I love God, but I'm scared of God. I'm scared that he will just take me like this, punish me, take me to hell. I am scared. Like, it's a real fear. And after watching the video yesterday from the interview of Vicky Ash, it makes sense. So the devil is trying to play with me, obviously. So now I know what to pray. Before I didn't know what to pray. Because I hadn't, expressed it to anyone before, so I didn't know what to pray. But now I do. But that's the two main things that I took from that video that sort of brought things forward for me. The video itself was an hour long, and it took me a lot longer to watch it than an hour because I had to keep stopping it, going away, doing other things, then coming back. Because it was triggering, and I was having a bad day yesterday as well. And I probably shouldn't have watched the video. But another thing that I wanted to talk about in this video really quickly is the fact that I didn't know that this was Satanism until about 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer than that. When I was actually in that situation, I didn't know God. And, sorry, I didn't know God, and I knew there was good and evil. I knew that, I could see that. But I always thought there was more evil than good. And I didn't realize, good was from God, evil was from Satan. I didn't realize that, but now I do. But even when I knew God, I didn't know that what I experienced was Satanism. And the last 6 months, as I said, I've been remembering more things, and I've been talking to Catherine about it. Bless her heart, she's been listening to me. She is like an angel from God. She puts up with my nonsense like no one else. And she said it was her that, brought it to my attention that these people are Satanists. What I experienced was satanic ritual abuse, and I tried to push it off at first. I was like, no, that's not what I experienced, because I didn't want it to be true. I had already experienced enough. It was bad enough without all of this garbage on top of it. But I did my own research into it, and as I was looking into Satanism, I still haven't looked into it fully. But as I was looking into it, I realized that the things that was described is the things that I experienced, and these people are Satanists. 2 and 2 = 4. That's what we always say in this house, so there's nothing more to it. They're Satanists. But I just wanted to say that because I believe that there's more people out there that have experienced satanic ritual abuse and they don't realize that they have. Whether it's because they've pushed down the memories of childhood because they don't want to look at it. I understand that. I wish I could do that myself. Or whether they just are not educated on satanic ritual abuse enough to realize that's what they've been through. They might realize that it's child abuse, sexual abuse, trafficking, etc., but they might not realize that Satanism is entwined in it. So that's why I wanted to stress that I didn't know until the last 6 months. I didn't know that this was Satanism, satanic ritual abuse that I'd experienced. So if people are out there that are sort of on the fence, they don't really know whether they experience satanic ritual abuse or not, I would urge them to be cautious about looking into it. Don't push yourself so hard like I did and go into a complete it messes with your head. Even if you haven't experienced it, I can imagine it messes with people's head, because I've talked to other people that haven't even been abused as a child, and listening to testimonies messes with their head. But just be cautious about looking into it. Be careful, you know, be kind to yourself. But I think that it's important to know whether you have been, whether you are a survivor of satanic ritual abuse, because you know, it has put my mind at ease a bit, because I know that it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like, okay, I can put it in this box and it stays in this box until I want it to come out. Before, there was a lot of memories that were floating around, and I didn't understand them, because I thought, why am I remembering this when, you know, I was like, did that actually happen? Am I just imagining it? But I know that this is true. Everything that I have talked about, everything that I've remembered is true, factual. It has happened. Whether people believe me or not, I do not care. I am not doing this to be believed. I am doing this to raise awareness of satanic ritual abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, trafficking, anything of the sorts, and hopefully by doing so, encouraging other survivors and victims to come forward and talk about their experiences also. So I wanted to keep this short, but evidently I talk a lot, but I will leave it there for now. Hopefully I'll make another video in a few days, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love, bless you.